speakers from a different region. And this is from the team from Chiayi. And look at their posters. And it's actually prepared or organized by our previous speaker, as well as their team of artists. Now, the theme this month is to share about their fair to aid the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. And see a lot of the vendors, the vegetable sellers, even though they only make a little bit of money each day, they're willing to donate over and over again. When I saw you guys coming over for donations, I feel really emotional that there are so many people full of love in Taiwan. And now even though I'm selling vegetarian food, and I said to the volunteers that if they're hungry, feel free to come over. I will give you guys a free meal. So even though they're donating, they're receiving a little Jingsi aphorism. We have these people, they're 91 and 94 years old. And we also have the students from the local culture centers. They're giving out a free concert to help to collect donations for the earthquake relief efforts. So let's give a round of applause for the Chiayi team. And we can see that even here in Kaohsiung, I'm standing here where everyone can see. There's one person here who's much taller than I am next to me, and make me all of a sudden look short. But it's all right, because we can still stand tall together. We have made this pact that every August, they are coming over across the different regions and to share about their stories. Now, this year, they're super busy, as we know, because in addition to things happening one after another, the master is also in Daling. So we're very grateful that despite all the things that they have to do, they still made their appearance. So now let's hand over the microphone to our speaker, and we will give us full of positive energy. So let's put our hands together and share that and welcome them so that they have the positive energy to share with us all. So our first speaker is from our interpretation team, and more specifically, the Taiwanese interpretation. This is from Brother Wu Hanwen, as we hear earlier from our feedbacks. He has been reaching to many people and inviting them to join the Kaohsiung study group. And even though he's only here once in a while, his presence is always there online, giving us encouragement. And when he said that he was listening the Taiwanese interpretation channel, I asked if he's ready to join the team. So let's give a round of applause to officially welcome him into the interpretation team. Dear masters, dear bowmasters, as well as all our family brothers and sisters here, and our global listeners, I hope you all have a great day. I am Wu Hanwen from Chiayi, and today I would like to share with you all how great loves get together to alleviate sufferings. As we heard in February this year, an earthquake rocked Turkey and Syria, and under the directive of Master, we we have Chiayi volunteers mobilizing across the world. So in Taiwan, we all know Master has continually reminded us that Taiwan has no treasures, but rather just love and goodness. That's the treasure that we must share with the world. So under Master's call, we immediately activated the donation drive. At that time, we were actually planning the global study groups. So our first wave, we started with our members, our families, as well as those we interact with more frequently, because this is the fastest and most active. So we hope every community can share their actions on their chat group so that it can continuously motivate everyone. And in addition to donations, our community volunteers also activated, and many of them started to cook meals for sale, as well as providing dishes to collect donations. Now, as we see from that picture, many of our volunteers are of an older age, so they were really tired, but they're still full of joy. Their hearts are still full of joy despite their physical being tired. Our second wave is when we started the donations on the streets. We're very grateful for the Tainan Tzu families who came by without asking to share their experiences on how to create these signs, as well as the materials needed for promotions. And our Tainan volunteers prepared all that for us so that we just need to muster the volunteers and able to activate. As we know, donations is not about how much money we collect, but rather how many hearts we can touch and awaken. As these droplets of love get together, they become a spring and let people see hope, as well as bear witness to the love that's present in everyone. So these love, when it comes together, becomes fortune, and that fortune is what's keeping us safe and keeping the society that we live in harmonious. So through the donations, we want to consolidate the attention of all our volunteers, as well as to promote and reach out to the public. We never give up on any opportunity to interact with more bodhisattvas. Initially, we planned for 107 routes, but 2 days later, we keep adding more and more routes. And so 2 days later, we added up to 143 routes. So the brothers and sisters at Chiayi Service Center are not willing to give up any opportunity to reach more people. So let me share with you some of the very touching images that we see. Like this grandma is very supportive of Tzu Chi, and as she is collecting, as she is giving out donations, every time she drops a donation, she would call out a name of her families, so that she could forward the merit over to them. So I asked her who are these people, and she said that these are her family members, her kids, her grandkids. So at the end, when she named everyone and she'll have change leftover, she poured that all in and named herself to bless herself. And we also see this volunteer. Every time someone made a donation, they get a sticker. And we see this grandma here. She has many of these stickers on her. Even though she is mobility, she doesn't walk very fast, but she continuously donates. So we asked her, why is she donating this many times? She said that her kids are well to do, so she's have all these love that she can give and share for all those who are in need. Now we see this grandma here that is educating her grandson, because she would take out the money and ask the grandson to drop it into donation box. So we see these stickers are a reward for the kids, as well as to validate their efforts of sharing the love. Even this person who is handicapped, you can see how many stickers that he has. So even though his physical being is impaired, his love is unobstructed. From this vegetable vendors, after seeing the Tzu Chi volunteer asking for donations, he vowed that whoever made a donation, he is willing to give a head of cabbage for free as a reward. Now, when we're collecting at the night market, we saw one of the monastic spiritual practitioners collecting donations across the street. So Tzu Chi volunteers naturally went to the other side. But we see that this monastic practitioner actually came over and donated as her support for Tzu Chi. So, and we see many people that are giving us feedback and positive feedback, encouraging us and thanking us for giving them the opportunity. And even in the Tzu Chi clinic in Chiayi, we have a route there to help to spread the love. So, in addition to the first and second wave, we are planning the third wave, and we want to call out that those who are fortunate enough to give must give so that their fortune can continue. So from the previous Brother Hanwen's sharing, we see that we are trying to alleviate sufferings with love and compassion. And this can be seen from actions across the world. Now, collecting donations is not just the task of Tzu Chi volunteers, but we also see the doctors of Tzu Chi clinic, as well as the staff. They were all motivated and willing to go out on the streets and help out, because we know that doing good deeds we cannot be absent from doing good deeds. Now, even though $5, $10, or even a pocket change is not little bit, because every little bit counts, and as it comes together, we can all do great deeds together. And in addition to holding the donation box, volunteers were also thinking about how to motivate everyone they see crossing their path and offering them the opportunity. Now we can see what our doctors, Even though he's a tall person, he doesn't have you won't be able to tell that he's a doctor because he's wearing the city uniform just like all of us. So I believe that the from the donation collection that day, we can see a lot of love coming together from our local communities. And we see parents encouraging their kids so that teaching their children that giving giving each act of kindness is the right thing to do. And with a and our parent we as we know children learn from their parents, so if the parents are encouraging the kids, then the kids will naturally grow up and having this sense of love within them. So in addition to Dr. Tsai and the staff, we also hear from Brother Hanwen earlier that in the Chiayi Service Center have organized a fair to help sell and promote the donations. And we see many of the staff in the clinic will bring out or to take from their homes what they believe are the most valuable and donate it so to be for sale at these fairs. As we know, for people when people are donating, they would take whatever they find would be the least valuable because it's just for somebody else. But our staff are willing to part with what they believe is the most needed or the most valuable in their house that they don't need so that they can benefit more people. So our staff is giving their time as well as their belongings to help spread love and help those who are in need on halfway across the world. As we know from a city model, those who are fortunate must walk to those who are less fortunate. And I believe that this motion will bring in positive results. From the Da'ai kindergarten in Daling, the parents are donating mangoes. So the children are learning to pickle the mangoes and sell them at the fair. When the earthquake happened, the teachers will remind the kids that and ask them whether they are willing to help. Now, our kids are so pure and so lovable because they all said that they are willing and wholeheartedly willing to give. And when they work together, their love is really touching, very emotional. And one of the kids, Ruochen, she has a little saving account. And she gets these points from doing chores and helping around the house. She initially saved up these points so that she could get a Barbie doll. But after hearing about the earthquake, she said that she asked her mother whether it's okay to donate this instead of buying a doll. So from so from there we can see that the the kids, even though they're young, their sense of compassion, their sense of great love are will grow up and be a very supportive member of Master's missions. Dear Master and global Tzu family, hope you all have a great day. My Dharma name is Wei Ti, which is which constantly reminds me to be mindful of my speech. As Teacher Mei Yun has shared with us that you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So when we see disasters happening in Turkey and Syria, our hearts go out to them. And the brothers and sisters of Chiayi all got together and to organize this fair so that to activate the love of the public. So last year in August, at the morning assembly, masters have asked that everyone to spread Buddhism back to Buddha's home and to collect this love so that to help those who are suffering there. So Tzu volunteers naturally answered the call, and especially the Chiayi Service Center this year organized this fair in April. Now, this gives everyone the opportunity to spread their love at this fair. So on that day when at the opening, we have many dignitaries, including the mayor as well as local monastic practitioners and Tzu Hospital vice superintendent. As the mayor shared that they are very grateful for Tzu, who demonstrated the collective love and bring everyone together to help those who are in need. And on the day, volunteers will sell their goods as well as any dishes that they will make. So there are roughly 62 booths and with a wide variety of merchandises. Many volunteers would donate the material needed and to prepare for these meals for sale, just to hope to increase the donations. We see many of our volunteers will donate their incense as well as tea paraphernalias just for sale. And we see people who will buy the whole set because that's what they needed at home so that they can make tea. So I hope all our global families are all doing well. So today I would like to share with you the the vegetarian meals that we prepared and the joy that we got from working together. Now, because of the pandemic, our activity has been put on hiatus. And this year, fortunately, as the pandemic is getting under control and the opportunity to reach for aid to reach those who are in need in Turkey and Syria. So I've invited our volunteers in our team in our area to get together and wrap these meals. So everyone was actually very motivated, and they wanted to bring out the best for those who are eating it. So in addition to using rice, we actually used a new ingredient called quinoa. And we talked about what ingredients, fillings that will go into these so that they can get together and make these leaf wraps. As we all know, to make these leaf wraps, we have to wash the bamboo leaves to tie the strings together, stir fry and prepare all the ingredients individually. So everyone took part. As we see from this picture here, everyone, we're from a very rural area, so we have a lot of older volunteers, but they are nonetheless very helpful. As we see the one in red, she is already 101 years old. But even then, as she heard about our need for more volunteers, she decided to help out to make these two strings. Each string consists of 10 strings tied together. So she would help and wrap them, and she's very skillful in wrapping them. And washing each piece of the bamboo leaves, it's like washing our own hearts. As we witness from our volunteers, they spend their moment really dedicated to make sure every leaf is cleaned and every ingredient is prepared properly. So we made more than 3,000 products. As we know, our quinoa wraps were actually very delicious. So people keep asking, adding the order. And from this opportunity, we came to the realization of masters calling us to promote vegetarian meals, vegetarian diet. So every month we have vegetarian meal sales, and to encourage more people to adopt a plant-based diet. We started with 60 boxes, and last month we came up with about 400 boxes. And many of the local companies will keep calling us, asking us when do we have these boxes, these meal boxes for sale, because they were really good, very delicious. So next, I would like to share a little bit more about our donation fairs. So on April 16th at the Chiayi Service Center, we started a talk as well as the Turkish-Syrian earthquake charity fair. So that day in our Buddha hall, we have the talk about having how to have a good life. We have the orthopedic doctor from Chiayi Clinic to talk about how to prevent osteoporosis as well as muscular atrophy. On the outside, we have our charity fair. There are about 62 booths, and they donate all their proceedings. As we see from here in this picture, this is the items for sale that day. And we're very grateful for everyone for their donations. And you see that they can barely read them. And this is Sister Lin Jingyi. She was very creative because she wanted to let more people know about this charity fair. So she created these posters and banners and put it on her motorcycle. Now she realized there are only so many people can see her from the front. So she made another cardboard so she could wear it on her back. Fortunately, there are so many people that saw it and took note. Even our recycling trucks became our advertisement. So very grateful for everyone for their efforts. So many people bring their homegrown produces for sale and started selling them right at the booth. Now I'd like to share with you some of the background stories, and many of them would make rice cakes. Even if some of the farmers would sell their homegrown coffee beans and make them into bags of coffee. Our brothers would help stir fry these ingredients so that they can make the leaf wraps. Many of our volunteers got together to decorate the day before, and just with a simple mind, hoping that their event would be successful the next day. We talked about the opening ceremony earlier, and it was a very lively event. The sun was also very, very lively that day too, very passionate that day. So even though the temperature was really very warm, we can still feel the joyful, lively atmosphere. Even it was so lively that about 90% of our merchandise was sold out before noon. We see one of our sisters were giving threading sessions. And we can see on this booth here, so many of these items were actually, or donations from local vendors. In addition to sales, we also had performances, including dances, music performances, just to make the atmosphere more enjoyable. There are so many of the local entrepreneurs providing their goods as well as giving out donations. At the end of the day, each booth started collecting and counting their sales. And when the event was over, our volunteers worked together really quickly to wrap up and clean up. So it was really successful because we got everyone to work together as well as to reach out for more people, and more importantly, able to get more and more love together. So next, they would like to perform a song about the Firefly of Love.
势呢，影响天下，亲像萤火虫，平常看不到，等待需要的，它飞起来，就飞金钩来传咯。
So very grateful to our Chiayi team, how they were so harmoniously working together in unity. So I must stand over here. As we see from the image,